Abhijit Agarwal sir. He is also with us, and he'll be over here with further presentation. So today we'll be going to talk about the SDWAN software-defined wide area network technology, which we have implemented in SWAN. As you might all are aware that state wide area network is one of the mission mode projects of Government of India, somewhere started in 2008, which was initiated to provide the connectivity to all the government offices of the state. And we have deployed, like on the very next slide, we talk about the evolution of MPSWAN, how we have started. Basically, the objective for this particular project was to start the government to government and government to citizen based services. And in 2008, this approval was granted by Department of Information Technology, which was DITI at that time. Now it is MIT. And in 2008, we have onboarded the SI for the deployment of this entire MPSWAN project. Initially, in somewhere in 2012, at that time, we have deployed the POPs across the state, which are called as the state headquarters, district headquarters, and block headquarters. POPs are the point of presence. Those were called as an aggregation points, which where all the traffic from the government offices is aggregated, and from there on it comes to state headquarters, where the SDC MP state data center is located. So from 2012 to 2014, we have visualized, we realized that the need of a dedicated facility management services for each and every POP is required, and where we could manage all the network devices and the connectivity which we are providing to all the government offices across the state. So in 2014, we have deployed a dedicated FMS. Then after that, the progression goes on like this. In 2018, we have increased from 352 to 401 POP across the state. In 2018, we have covered the entire state. All the districts and the blocks were connected over the SWAN network. Besides that, like most of the premium projects, which we call it as IGRS, that is where IGRS, CCTNS project, which is again a project of Government of India, Treasury, the entire Treasury of Madhya Pradesh government, Excise Department, Jail and Courts, CTD, Commercial Tax Department, are completely dependent on SWAN. That is what the guidelines of the government, that these projects has to use only the network of SWAN. So that is where we were in 2018. In 2018, we have realized that, like, in order to give the good, effective, efficient, and effective services to our premium clients, we thought of coming up with deploy the technology which can resolve our needs and which should be a cost-effective technology. That is where we have started the deployment of SDWAN, and at present now around 9,000 government offices are connected over the SWAN network. That is almost 90% of the government offices across the state are connected over the SWAN network, and we are the first one which has deployed the SDWAN technology in the SWAN network. So moving on to the SWAN presence, here at present we have 401 POPs across point of presence across the state, which has covered all the districts. Those are 52 districts of the state and 349 blocks and 9,000 offices. That's what I've mentioned in the previous slide. Then all the connectivity which we have provided from the POP, those aggregation points to the SDC, that is redundant and highly available. And we do have provided the high-speed internet connectivities in a secure form to all of our government offices which are using the SWAN services. Then we have, in order to deliver the best services and the timely resolution of the issues, we do have a network NOC in Bhopal, which is operational 24/7 for monitoring and management of the entire network. Then in terms of reliability, like all these are key departments, like as ICCTNS, Treasury, Excise, as you all are aware that these are the departments which are specific to the security, the economy, and safety. These key parameters, which are totally dependent on SWAN, and they are quite satisfied with the performance of the SWAN. we do have received the multiple accolades from time to time at the time whenever they need the type of services from these departments in delivering our services. Then in terms of the architecture, if we talk about the architecture of the SWAN, in technical terms, it is a hub and spoke topology, where all the hub is the SDC, where all the servers of the core applications and the premium client infrastructure is hosted over here in SDC, and the spokes are the each and every district and block. So there is no such kind of dependency of the district to block or the associated block. They are directly connected to SDC. If in case of failure of any of the spoke, the other one is not dependent on it. Then we do have the connectivity intranet and internet. We have deployed the MPLS circuits and the internet lease line circuits. With the help of SDWAN, we are achieving the entire traffic which is traversing through these internet lease line circuits, though that is a secure and encrypted traffic from end to end from the block headquarters to the SDC. That is then moving on the IPsec tunnel, which is encrypted. Then the features what we have deployed, we have deployed the redundancies available. We do have multiple like redundant devices, the redundant links, and we do have the quality of services for the premium client. That is what one of the key driving factor for us to give the best best in effort class services to our customers, which require a smooth and hassle free, like error free connectivity, and without knowing that any kind of in case of failure of a link, the traffic is moving smoothly over there. So these are some of the features which we have deployed, and the SD-WAN, as you like, this is what we are presenting over here. Like SD-WAN is the technology which is helping us to achieve the efficient, effective service delivery. Then we'll again talk about why we have deployed SD-WAN. So somewhere in 2018, like all of our devices which we have deployed across the SWAN network were end of support, which were declared we were not having a valid support. Then the option was available with us that either to upgrade the devices on the same old legacy technology, but are we able to, after upgrading, are we able to achieve the benefits what we can achieve, or the type of services what we were planning at that time, somewhere in 2018, or that we would be able to deliver those kind of services. Then for if we talk about that, for any kind of services or any, if you want to deliver in terms of the prioritization or customization of the traffic, then it requires a manual intervention at each level, because all the devices which we have deployed were standalone, and we were not able to deploy any kind of policy which could be pushed from centralized one location, and we could decide the policy and implement it whenever based on our requirements at the time. Like based on the requirement in terms of like, I'll give you an example. During the financial year ending, some of the departments requires the high speed and good quality of service in terms of network connectivity. So for that, to define the policies at that particular period of time, and similarly, that is somewhere in March at the end of financial year, whereas any other department requires at the time of disaster, specifically in a rainy season, where some of the home department specifically requires a kind of prioritization in their connectivity and where they have to deliver the efficient smooth services. So these kind of different type of requirements which requires the customization of the policies, which we earlier we were not able to do it like on the fly basically, and we could not push those policies across the network, and that was what we have observed as a major challenge. Then the SWAN we have declared somewhere as a protected system. Protected system as under the guidelines of CII, Critical Information Infrastructure, that is mentioned in the IT Act, and along with the coordination with NCIPC, that if SWAN is capturing national health, economy, and safety, so in falling under any of these three parameters, then it has to be declared as a protected system. So as I mentioned, the most of the major of government offices which are delivering services, either they are somehow associated to these parameters, which is either to national health, economy, or safety. So that is the reason which where we have declared the SWAN as a protected system. And where the SD-WAN, well, in the SD-WAN, we have observed that the traffic which is traversing from one end to another, it is moving on the overlay tunnels which are secure, and it is encrypted. So that is why we found the SD-WAN as a better advantage above the legacy technology. Otherwise, what we have to do, like we have to deploy a separate, security device, and which requires a huge capex over there. Apart from that, we have to deploy the manpower at all the 401 locations, which involves huge costs. And the bandwidth option, the bandwidth was quite expensive, as we were not able to use the cost-effective options for the connectivity with our legacy network, like FTTH nowadays, or any kind of internet design and all. So that is what where we have observed that the bandwidth cost was quite high in the legacy network. So these are the major reasons which like forced us to go for the SD-WAN as a technology. This is how we have executed like we have prepared RFP, and this was the first time like we have prepared with all the functional requirements. We haven't given any kind of technical specifications of the device and all. Basically, we focused on the type of functionality what we are looking for in the entire end-to-end solution, like either it is the quality of services or the security or the routing in terms of the efficient application of web routing. We have mentioned all those functional requirements in our RFP, and that is how we have prepared that. The important point another point we have included in our preparation of RFP is that the solution which has to be provided, it has to be transport independent, because we don't want to rely on one kind of mode of connectivity where we don't get the type of services we are looking for, because the way the connectivity options are evolving day by day, the cost effective mode of transport is available, and the good quality or in the terms of the transport is available in the lesser cost. That is what we want to achieve with that. Then the ROI is one of the major factors, the management says that what would be the ROI and how you are planning to achieve it. So this is how, keeping all these considerations, we have prepared an RFP. Thus, we have selected the vendor based on that RFP. And after, like across India, we do have interacted with other states and found that the selection of vendor or the success of this the RFP was one of the major challenges which has been observed by many states. And that is one of the major reasons that we are the first one to deploy SD-WAN across India. Then these are some features which we have deployed. Like we just want to ship the box, and that is the zero touch provisioning and the security policies, internet breakout. Because earlier in our previous architecture, I'll just show you the graphical image of the architecture where internet breakout is not available in the legacy architecture. Where we want to give the internet at the first exit point, and along with the security, so that then the unwanted or the traffic which is not useful for the organization or for the state should not come to the SDC and hit the SDC network. And the challenges, no doubt, we do have faced a lot of challenges in deploying, like migration from legacy, as we are operational since 2008. So migrating from one technology to another requires a lot of changes, and to make the team aware about the latest technology, and up to the ground level, we have to take this technology and the benefits. So these were the challenges like which we have observed. Integration of bandwidth services like MPLS, ILL, broadband. We do have there are certain terrestrial challenges which we have observed. Like for example, 4G, FTTH is not available at many locations. For that, we have to come up with a proper plan and which technology would be the right fit for that particular location. That is how we have addressed. It would require it took a lot of planning, a lot of support from our higher management, and I'm really thankful for our management that they have supported us and we took it forward. And today we are successfully deployed SD-WAN. Shall we move on to the next one? So this was the previous SWAN architecture, how we have connected our entire network, where you can see that this was a flat architecture where we have connected up over the MPLS links. We have to take multiple links over there. Those would be the MPLS links, and we could not use any type of connectivity. Again, we have to deploy the resources at each and every location. For that, that requires again the cost over there, and the architecture was again a bit old. We don't have much granular control on the entire network and the technology. So just this is the SD-WAN architecture, how it looks like all of those connected with a cost-effective transport. We do have connected our most some of the locations where the FTTH is available, the broadband is available. We do have taken it up as the transport mechanism, and on top of it, on the right hand side, if you look at it, is the underlay transport and the overlay transport. So underlay transport is the type of connectivity which we have provided. Overlay, it says that where these are the secure tunnels which are formed from the POP locations or the client and up to the controller, and this is the end-to-end encrypted traffic over there. These are the ROI benefits. If you talk about, like on the lighter green, this was the before SD-WAN. This is the achievement. This is these are the this is per year savings in terms of deployment of SD-WAN. The FMS we have saved around 4 crores per annum. Then for the bandwidth cost, which was exponentially high, 13 crores we were spending in the bandwidth cost, has been drastically reduced to 6 crores per annum by the use of deployed technology. And earlier, where we were using the lesser bandwidth circuits, now we have deployed the higher bandwidth circuits for the for our for providing the connectivity to all of our POP, which is translating into higher bandwidth to all of our government offices, clients basically. And the capex, the third point where we say that if we migrate it from migrate to the legacy technology, this would be the difference. Then we do have, as these are the benefits what we have achieved, that the transport independent model what we do have a granular control, like up to the application level level monitoring the type of application, the traffic which is moving via network. That is what we could monitor and control and we could define the policies as per the requirement. So these are the key benefits what we have achieved in terms of e-governance services. If we have for which we have thought of initially before when we have started planning for the SD-WAN deployment, like prioritization of business critical and departmental traffic, because the business departmental traffic, like the premium clients, what we say that the clients which are either related to which are associated with the CII parameters, either related to the national health, economy, and safety. So those departments we can deliver the effective services. We can prioritize their traffic. That is what one of the key driving factor for our SD-WAN selection. Then we do have the centralized management and monitoring, like where we could define the policies on the central controllers, and we could push them across we can push them easily across the entire state network, and we could yield the benefits. And whenever we need it, based on our requirements, we can push the policy or either apply the policy or remove the policy. Then we do have the embedded network security policies at each point from from each and every exit point where we have deployed the network, we have the network security embedded. So this is how the quality of customer means the customer experience has improved a lot since the time we have deployed SD-WAN in our network. So just an overall achievement, like we are the first one in India to deploy SD-WAN technology in in the SWAN network. This is the model which has been followed by some other states, like where they have requested guidance and support from us. Chhattisgarh is one of the state which has deployed SD-WAN, like there they have asked for our guidance. West Bengal, where they have planned for that, and Meghalaya, in fact, they have asked for our model, how we have implemented, what is the architecture, what we have planned. And now Maharashtra has floated the tender for the SD-WAN deployment across this one. Now, and apart from that, one of like where we feel really very different, like most of the time, the government organizations go to the private organizations and ask for their models and all. Here, we are the first state government, I think, where the private organization, non-government organization came to us and asked for the guidance and support in terms of SD-WAN deployment. DB group, Danik Bhaskar is the group which DB, I have just kept the abbreviations over here, where they have, it is quite a big group, like hope you all of you, the jury members and all, everyone aware, might be aware that Danik Bhaskar is one of the leading newspaper, and they have multiple, it's quite a big group over there, where they came to us and say that how you have deployed the SD-WAN, and like they analyzed it as a success model, and we have portrayed all the benefits what we have achieved out of it. So these are the few things about our project which we would like to highlight in front of you all and the respected jury members. So
thank you, sir. Very exhaustive project presentation you have made. And congratulations for implementing such a good network, which other states are also eager to emulate.
thanks a lot, sir. Thanks a lot
Yes,
for your kind words.
Yes, sir. According to DOT policies, all such projects, networking projects, are supposed to utilize Make in India products as far as possible. So have you also used Make in India products, switches, routers, and all that based on Indian manufacturers?
Yes, sir. As per the MSME guidelines, we do have like deployed, like wherever the LAN connectivities and all, where the lesser number of we do have the lesser number of users. We have like we have deployed the Make in India products, and we do have incorporated the MSME guidelines in the project.
The second issue is that there is also a project called BharatNet. You have indicated in your presentation that you have used RailTel lines for your project. Is BharatNet also helpful in some way in your state?
Sir, yes, sir. BharatNet is really helpful. Actually, MPSWAN, our organization, is working towards the implementation of BharatNet. Like we were involved in the phase 1 of the BharatNet project.
Yes,
So BharatNet's presence is up to the Gram Panchayat, where the MPSWAN's existence is still the block headquarters. So we have the presence in district commissionaries, districts, and the block. And later on, MPSCTC is taking care of BharatNet project, where we that is up to the Gram Panchayat. So that is how we are dealing, how we are managing both the projects.
So in all the Gram Panchayats in your state, BharatNet is working?
Yes, sir. BharatNet, we have in the phase 1, we have deployed 12,006 out of 23,006 Gram Panchayats across the state. In phase 1, we have covered 12,006 Gram Panchayats. In phase 2, has been given to BBNL earlier. BSNL is the implementing agency for the deployment of fiber, laying of fiber, and MPSWAN is the nodal agency for that. And up till now, the remaining out of 11,000 gram panchayat, we have covered almost 7,000 gram panchayat, and the remaining which is under execution. And hopefully mid 2023 we would be covering all the GPs of across the states.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, please.
Thanks a lot, sir.
It's a very timely upgradation to a software-defined network WAN. So that way you have done well by.
Thanks a lot.
And of course, you have improved the efficiency and reduced the cost. That's fine. When the new innovation comes, new technology comes, how fast will you be able to upgrade?
Ma'am, definitely we would be, whenever the new technology comes up, like I'm really thankful to our management. In fact, MD sir, all the project directors, managing directors and all, they are quite supportive. And
not that way, not that way. See, here in this case, what happened is by 2018,
yes,
most of the warranties and the product life, they ended. So
right,
it is easy for you to get a approval for replacing the whole thing. You know,
yes,
it makes a lot of sense that
right.
Since they are getting obsolete, you have to replace them. And since you're replacing, you might as well go for a newer technology. Okay, but the way technology is advancing, it may not take 13 years to go to the next technology.
Right, ma'am. Exactly. That is what.
And by that time, your hardware may not become obsolete.
So,
right.
ma'am,
in that case, what is your action plan to go to the next technology?
Exactly, ma'am. In terms of like, if we look at the architecture of SDWAN, where the controller is the brain, and controller is again a software which has to be deployed on servers, where the entire policy. So upgrading the servers is not a very like something which can be done. We are taking care of the SDC and the remote end devices, which has to take controls from the controller, the controller which is deployed in the SDC over here. So that is where we do have the plan. Like whenever the new technology comes up, we would be in a state, and that is the reason now that earlier we were having a kind of vendor lock issues, where we were having that this router could not support this, we could not have the control. The person who is having that kind of capacity is, you say, the knowledge available in the market is limited. But here we want to just break all those barriers over here. That is the reason, like when we were discussing initially, I do tell you, like our MD sir was again asking these same questions, and these were the points where we say that this is how the difference comes up. That we don't want the same kind of environment where we are restricted.
Yeah, because these foresights actually can help you in future by reducing costs further.
Yeah,
and
sure, ma'am.
Your ROI reply will be much easier to give.
Exactly, ma'am. That is, and the management is more interested in what would be the ROI. So,
okay.
thankfully,
okay. I get it. I get it. Now things will be little faster and smoother because of your intelligent system.
Exactly, ma'am. Thank you.
My next question is taking a cue from what Sharmaji has asked. I go a little one step further. BharatNet is going to the panchayats, and we are going up to the blocks.
Right, ma'am.
Right. How are you integrating, and what level are you integrating?
Ma'am, integration of BharatNet, we do have tried it. Means we do have tested the integration of BharatNet, like in one of the locations where we have a block location where the Gram Panchayat, where the BharatNet endpoint is terminated. We have tested, and from that we just requires a connectivity mode, and specifically the internet connectivity from the BharatNet, and as being the part of SDWAN network, that is what in fact we have thought about it. That this would be at present, this would be the redundant mechanism for our internet traffic, either to utilize the BharatNet infrastructure or to bring the traffic back to SDC on the secure tunnels. So that is how we have in fact tried and tested. And that was like a success for, in fact, I'll tell you that Aron in Guna district, if you are aware of, that is where we have tried and tested this BharatNet integration with our SWAN network.
Okay, very good.
Thanks a lot, ma'am. Thanks for your kind words.
Thank you, sir. So now we can go for the next